Hey everyone, welcome to the end of the sprint, our first retrospective and technically our first planning meeting. That's what this video is about. We're going to go over the what went well, what could have been improved, and what will we commit to for our next sprint, plus planning our next sprint. So thank you very much, and I will see you after the title. So what went well? Actually, if you've never done a retrospective before, it's kind of you bring the team together and you go over those 3 points: what went well, what could have been improved, and what will we commit to. But you get feedback from everybody. So feedback is really important to me from you guys, the consumer, whatever your role may be, the student, the analyst, the architect, wherever you want to go. It's really important because the main purpose behind this series is to share this information, this system that I was so fortunate enough to be taught by PhD Gary Johnson, Dr. Gary Johnson, in CS. And I got to automate the system more than what was taught. I got to improve upon it, and I just want to share it. Because so many times have I been in my career, like, there has to be a better way of doing this. There has to be more patterns, a patternistic approach, an object-oriented approach than 1 through 6NF, DKNF, BCNF. Like, your feedback will help this series become not necessarily a new norm, but a new way of thinking about data in general. So, retrospective, what went well in this series? I think we accomplished quite a bit in the first 90 minutes, give or take. We went from nothing to having a procedure that creates databases, database units, one for user-defined types, and one to make sure that our types are on every database that we currently have. One for files, file units, file groups, file group units, and one that will make both of them on the database unit. We even got into creating our first realm class family type, our system table. So we're well on our way to creating more tables. I think for 90 minutes, including some tech debt, some code cleanup, that went very well. Our progress, that was great progress for that short amount of time. What could be improved? In one episode, I think it was the file group episode, I missed a token, and actually in the episode before that, I missed a token, but it didn't test my code. So when we went to go create our file groups, kind of errored out. And I feel that might have distracted from the content in that episode. And if you were following along, you had to go back and adjust that code, or you were smarter than I and you caught it. But a piece of me said, I could have reshot that after discovering the error, but finding and learning how to locate issues is a really important part in this system, and in our industry in general. So I don't want to reshoot something that I can easily resolve in my allotted time. If the whole video just went downhill, then I would consider it. But being that we're already breaking this up into agile chunks, and I'm trying to show how easy it is and how quick it is to develop in the system and how powerful the system actually is. I don't really want to reshoot. So what could be improved? I got to pay more attention to what I'm doing. What will I commit to improve in the next sprint? I'm not sure. This is our first sprint. I'm not sure if that applies to us, being that a 2-week, 80-hour sprint is now a 90-minute sprint for me. I will try to drop videos every 2 weeks, so I can drop my first sprint, 2 weeks for you guys to consume it and reply, get some feedback on the retro, on this video, and then that second week, record, edit, do everything I need to release it on the next 2 weeks, Oxt weekend, I guess. So I guess I could commit to that, trying to get my whole sprint by Oxt weekend. And yeah, let me know what you guys think, what you think went well, and what you think could have been improved, and what you might want me to commit to. As far for planning, the next sprint, I'm definitely want to create the database, the dataset, the DataPoint type, database, dataset, DataPoint, process, and process parameter, and definition tables. So we can start creating our information schema and build this system like I was talking about in the intro video, where we can enter a row into the subject table and it finds what database it needs to belong in, what tables it needs to create, views, the triggers on the views, the functions to access the taxonomy, the change management procedures, what file groups it needs to be on, all of that. So that's our long-term goal, and I want to get as close to that as possible. So 10 videos minus 1 for, actually I'll do it this way, minus 1 for the retro, minus 1 for tech debt, creating all of the subjects, database, dataset, etc. I need to create code to add data to that database table, the dataset table, the DataPoint table, the process table, the process parameter table. So that leaves me with 2 episodes. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that free time. We got clustered indexes and indexes in our definition table that we need to do. We have the specific dataset number that we need to make sure is accurately working, that we'll get to in the dataset video. So I'll play those 2 videos by ear. Hopefully nothing rolls over into the next sprint. And we'll do the tech debt and the planning video. So yeah, I think that's good for right now. Remember YouTube's algorithm, it takes likes on videos and it basically bases the age, the likes, other functions, and it recommends them to users who like our area, whether it's data, master data management, IT. So liking videos really does help spread the word, and I ask that you do that. As far as subscribing gets you notified when I drop these videos. It is like you are supporting me. I mean, ads suck, but it helps me get a nickel, right? So I ask that you subscribe, but that's really it. And I forgot to say that I make my own music, so I will play you out and I will see you next sprint. Hope you enjoyed.